The chief complainants when there's fuel price increase are usually the consumers. But fuel retailers say there are operational costs implications every time there's an announcement of an increase. Fuel has increased by more than R2.60 since the beginning of the year.
The fuel retailer is feeling the pinch because the operational costs keep climbing up every time the price of fuel goes up. And unfortunately, then, we're caught in between a rock and a hard place right now because the consumer is feeling the pinch, but there's nothing that we can do. This is beyond us.
Despite all this despondency, Petro Connect encourages entrepreneurs to enter this industry, saying it is sustainable. But they still warn that it is a business that is not without its set of challenges.
Service stations by default are expensive businesses. If we want to look at expensive in inverted commas, it's a lot of money and a lot of investment that you've got to put down. In most cases, it's a lot of goodwill. And you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready for a franchise opportunity. You have to be ready also just to be bound by some rules and follow some rules because you can't just play out of the book. So I think funding is a challenge, but also just being customer centric. I think we're seeing entrepreneurs out there they're becoming a little bit, I don't want to use the word lackadaisical, but there is a level of being sort of not as customer centric as we used to be. I think we need to move back to that.
With the decision to cap fuel increases still under debate, a further increase is on the horizon in June with the introduction of the carbon emission tax. The Fuel Retailers Association is against government's proposal to cap the price of 93-octane petrol. It claims a cap will cut into already thin profit margins and also accelerate job losses in the sector.
While I understand the frustration, the anticipation from the motorists, but I think government needs to be open and transparent about some of these elements. They've got to be realistic.
Meanwhile, analysts warn that consumers could plunge into more debt as the cost of living, coupled with the high unemployment rate, continues to climb. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.